Good everybody. My name is Bie Dickson and I'm here to present my project counter. But before I get to that, I am going to do a summary of all what I've learned from the past 2.5 months. I started with HTML, which is hypertext markup language, and CSS, which is it markup or markup? Markup. Sorry. So these are the three major languages which I learned and I used to create my counter project. I made the of HTML for the structure. So now HTML under HTML I learned how to make a form and create a structure for my website. In my CSS I used to beautify my website by giving it color and moving it to any position which I want it to be. While my JavaScript was to make it to function because I use as you can see my just for interaction and functionality. So my JavaScript code what I used to make my HTML code work by linking it or by calling out a particular function. Now my counter, I used CSS with a color red. I used margin to move it to the middle and I put a figure on it which is 0. The place increase anytime I tap the increase button, the number increases by adding by 1, meaning that in my code I put number 1 plus. That means anytime you press increase, it's adding one number to the previous number that was already there. As you can see, the more I'm tapping it is increasing by 1 digit. I need to continue and continue with no limit. So that's for my counter presentation. And for the code, which as you can see, I used internal CSS, internal JavaScript, and HTML. We have two types of CSS. We have external and external. We have CSS. Also, we have inline and outline CSS. While for JavaScript, we have internal and external JS. But for my counter, I use internal CSS and JS. And I call out my internal CSS by using I call out my internal CSS by using this style tag, which is for several. While for my internal JavaScript, I use the script tag to call it out and write it in the same page with my HTML code. And that's summary of my project today. Thank you. My name still remains Dixon Beer, and I am officially done with front end. Thank you very much.